Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
And good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Cameron DeBlasio.
And I'm Esther Bauer. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Our top story tonight, officials in the U.S. and across the globe are voicing their reaction to President Donald Trump's controversial travel ban. Today, the White House says the change in policy was a major success and will help keep the country safe. A Democratic Senator, Jeff Merkley from Oregon, said, quote, "We are a nation of immigrants and we must stand together for the strength of immigration." And today, Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson announced a lawsuit aimed at the Trump administration. Ferguson called the executive action, quote, "un-American and unlawful." President Trump responded, saying the move was aimed at protecting Americans from extremists.
And as a result of Trump's travel bans, protests broke out in airports across the country over the weekend. Over 600 people gathered at the Indianapolis International Airport to protest this executive order. According to the Indianapolis Star, the protest began as a small group on Sunday but quickly grew to hundreds, needing security to be needed. Protesters included best-selling author John Green as well as some Indiana lawmakers. Those protesting hope the event sends a message of support to the Muslim community. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer released a statement earlier today defending President Trump's choice.
You don't know when the next threat's coming. You don't know when the next attack's coming. And so the best you can do is to get ahead of it, because if you wait, you're going to be reacting. And what I think I want to be clear on is the president's not going to wait. He's going to make sure he does everything in his power when he can to protect the homeland and its people. That's it. And so getting ahead of threats is the key.
Police were called to the Rosewood apartment complex Saturday evening after reports of a shooting. Jamal Desmond Gray, a resident at the complex, told police he had planned to sell an ounce of marijuana to a regular customer, but a different person showed up. He then shot the individual in a stairwell. The victim, who is not yet named, was taken to Ball Memorial Hospital and treated for multiple gunshot wounds, and he is reported to be in stable condition. Muncie police said the investigation is still underway. Grace was arrested on charges of criminal recklessness and dealing with marijuana, but was released after posting bail.
Well, a Fairmount woman was arrested Saturday after overdosing in a Delaware County truck stop. According to the Star Press, 31-year-old Audra Carter reportedly collapsed in front of her daughter in the gas station. Immediately following the incident, a store employee called 911. Later, Carter told a deputy she had purchased $40 worth of heroin, then ingested the drug in her vehicle outside of the gas station. Carter was taken by ambulance to IU Health Ball Memorial Hospital. Deputies contacted Child Protective Services and the child was released into the custody of her father. Carter was arrested on preliminary charges of neglect of a dependent and driving with a controlled substance in her system. Carter is currently being held in the Delaware County Jail under a $7,500 bond. Okay, so turning now to weather, Esther, it's been pretty cold these last few days and the snow finally returned. I think it's safe to say that our January weather is back.
Well, Cameron, as much as I love agreeing with you, Nathan, can he please not be right?
Cameron, Esther, you guys got a great point out there. As we're departing January, headed into February, weather is kind of wild this time of year, and we're in that transition period, and we saw that this morning. Look at the last 3 hours on radar here. You notice that this afternoon into the evening, we saw just a few snow flurries hanging out with us throughout the viewing area. Those have cleared out now, making for an overcast evening overall. This morning's low, it's hard to believe, but we were in the teens all across the state of Indiana, even single digits, like places like Terre Haute. But back here in Muncie, 17 degrees this morning, and it's hard to believe that we actually warmed up a little bit and will continue to warm up today. We're here 32 degrees currently in Muncie, 32 in Indianapolis, 32 in Lafayette, a little bit warmer to the south as we see a little bit milder air in the forecast. Coming up, we're going to talk about how long this Arctic air is going to stick around. We are going to talk about some breezy conditions that are returning back to the forecast, and we'll talk a little bit about a warm-up that is possible in that 7-day.
Okay, thanks, Nathan. Looking forward to it. Well, when we return, find out how you can get yourself a free lunch while voicing your campus concerns.
Don't go away. NewsLink Indiana will be back soon.
Oh!
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I've just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Alrighty, welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. So a new program is giving students the opportunity to have direct conversation and give feedback about Ball State to administrators. NewsLink Indiana's Michelle Kaufman has the full story.
As students walk around campus, some pass by the administration building but may not think about or interact with the employees inside. The Lunch with an Administrator program was launched this semester and allows students to eat a free lunch with a member of the President's Cabinet. Sophomore telecommunications major Gabby Lloyd said the idea for the program came from a beneficence dialogue.
It happens once a year, and students come around and they make suggestions on what administrators can do in regards to diversity. So that was actually an idea that some of the students made, was to have lunch with an administrator. I got to work with it, and me and Ro, we kind of worked hand in hand in making it a reality.
One administrator participating in the program is Chief Academic Officer Marilyn Buck.
Well, the reason I want to participate with Lunch with the Administrators is because I love talking to our students. And I think this is a great idea. I love the opportunity to actually share with them and talk with them about what it is that they're doing and their classes, what their hopes and dreams are for the future. I'm just excited about being able to meet the students that are going to be there, to enjoy lunch with them, and for the conversation that we can have, and hopefully give some opportunity for them to find out some of the things that I do too in my roles at the university.
Buck says she plans on bringing a pen and paper to the lunch to write down feedback and ideas that students give her. In Muncie, Michelle Kaufman, NewsLink Indiana.
Student Affairs sent an email to students on how they can sign up for this free lunch.
Well, NDOT has announced all traffic on Interstate 70 in western Indiana is scheduled to come to a standstill Wednesday night. All eastbound and westbound traffic near the US 231 interchange will be stopped as crews remove phone lines over the interstate. This location is about 40 miles southwest of Indianapolis. The project is expected to be completed late Wednesday night. And coming up, we're going to have a full look at your weather forecast. Stay tuned. NewsLink Indiana will be right back.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Okay, so with an update on weather, meteorologists everywhere are celebrating after the first images of the GOES-R satellite are launched. Weather correspondent Kaylee Pluchel has more on the story.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And liftoff of NOAA's GOES-R, America's most advanced weather eye in the sky.
Just 2 months after the GOES-R satellite launched from NASA's Space Launch Complex 41 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida, we are now receiving the first images from the satellite. November 19, 2016 will forever be a life-changing day for meteorologists in the United States. Now called GOES-16 while in orbit, this satellite can give high-resolution images of the planet every 15 minutes and of the United States every 5 minutes. GOES-16 can also target regional areas that are experiencing severe weather, like hurricanes, tornadoes, and extreme winter weather events every 30 seconds. These high-resolution images come from the Advanced Baseline Imager, or the ABI. The ABI covers the Earth 5 times faster than any other GOES satellite. The director of NOAA, Louis Usolini, commented and said, quote, "The image is much more than a pretty picture. It is the future of weather observations and forecasting." NOAA will announce the planned location for GOES-16 in May and will be operational by November 2017. For now, reporting for Cardinal Weather, I'm Kaylee Pluchel.
Alrighty, Kaylee, thank you so much for that update. We cannot wait to see more images from this GOES-16 satellite. So Cameron, all I can say about today's weather is that it was freezing. The only thing that made my day a little better was seeing the bright sun.
Yeah, you know, I almost forgot what the sun looked like. I felt like it'd been so long since we'd actually seen it. So Nathan, are we going to be seeing more of that sun going forward or not?
Cameron, Esther, we've had a lot of consecutive days in a row with cloudy skies. And I know that the sunshine this morning was a real treat. My drive in this morning was beautiful. And I know everyone around campus really enjoyed it. What we want to talk about first this evening is those national temperatures. The reason we bring this up is because this is a pattern that we're going to be in for the next couple days as we progress through several weather systems that will move through the area. First, look at the temperature gradient that we notice all across the country. Much of the country is at or below that freezing level, especially here in Muncie. 32 at the top of the hour here in Muncie, but look at all across the state of Indiana, a very similar picture that we are painting. 30 degrees in Fort Wayne, 31 in Kokomo, 34 in Bloomington, just a little bit warmer to the south as they are seeing just a little bit milder air. It may be hard to believe because we're just wrapping up the month of January, headed into February. A live view over McKinley Avenue. You still see a little bit of the snow that we saw this morning. It created some hazardous travel conditions this morning, but that sunshine that we talked about earlier melted away that snow, and actually made for a wonderful day out there and just a beautiful evening overall. Even though it's overcast at the top of the hour, we still remain at 32. The winds are going to be the important thing in our forecast tonight. South-southwest winds at 15 miles per hour. You notice those dew points nice and low, not going to allow for the opportunity to see too much precip. Radar imagery over the last 3 hours, zooming right back here to east central Indiana, you notice that we did see a few snow showers yet this evening. It didn't amount to anything but just a few flurries for your evening commute home. This morning we were nice and chilly. Look at these temperatures all across the state of Indiana. 17 degrees this morning in Muncie, 15 in Indianapolis. The chilly spot Terre Haute at 8 degrees this morning. Nice and cold, but this map is just a beautiful picture of we are warming up. That might be kind of surprising. We're 6 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago here at Muncie, 7 degrees warmer in places like Bloomington. Tonight will still remain quite chilly, below the freezing mark at 29 degrees. Chilly and breezy. Winds will be picking up. Look at that, 20 miles per hour. Forecasted wind chills. These are those feel-like temperatures this evening. Look, all across the state of Indiana will remain in those 20s, and this will be the story well into the day tomorrow, especially as we begin to see those winds pick up. The reason we pull up the wind gust map tonight is because tomorrow it's going to be very breezy, and that might be just an understatement. Look, southwest winds at 34 miles per hour are possible by 2 a.m. on Tuesday, 36 miles per hour in Indianapolis, and you notice how those colors on the map don't really change. That means that those winds are going to stay pretty much sustained at very gusty levels all throughout the day tomorrow, and then slowly cooling back down and starting to not be as breezy. So let's break this down. What do you need to wear tomorrow? For tomorrow morning, we are forecasting to see some cloudy skies remain in the forecast. Temperatures just above the halfway mark of 35 and 34 degrees for much of east central Indiana. South winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. In case you were needing to know what to wear tomorrow, winter coat is necessary. Those gloves will be once again another necessity. You will have to bundle up. For the daytime tomorrow, we are expecting once again cloudy and breezy conditions. West winds at 18 miles per hour. 39 degrees is the expected high. That'll be the warmest that we see over the next 7 days. Let's break it down in precision cast. Look at these cloudy skies by 10 a.m. tomorrow. A few snow showers to our northern viewing area. That'll just be isolated. Nothing that's going to accumulate in per se. But as we get into Wednesday at 4 a.m., our next chance of precipitation returns back to the forecast. You notice that those snow showers south of Indianapolis are possible. We could even see just a little bit of sleet is possible with this next system move through the area. Once that low pressure moves across Michigan, you will begin to see the clearing into Thursday into the end of the week, making it for a very nice and enjoyable weekend. Looking at the 7-day, not too bad. Those temperatures are slightly colder than normal for this time of year, especially headed into February. For Thursday, that's going to be our next chance. We're going to see the sunshine return back to the forecast with the daytime high just sitting around 26 degrees. For Friday, you can see sunny skies throughout the day with the high just sitting around 26. Headed into the weekend, we're not looking too bad. The teens are going to be the real forecast for that evening low. You notice Friday night, 17 degrees is the evening low, and that'll be because of the Arctic air dumping down from Canada, allowing us to really cool down overall. For the weekend, the next chance of precip looking way out there. We'll keep an eye on it, but the next chance of precip will definitely be that Sunday morning, which we're looking just to see just a few snow flurries, nothing major, but it'll be something that we'll keep an eye on here at NewsLink Indiana.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it, Nathan, and I liked seeing that sunshine on the 7-day. That's reassuring.
Oh yeah, all of us love to see that sunshine.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Nathan. Well, members of the Ball State and Muncie community celebrate 25 years of Worthen Arena. NewsLink's Mary Eber has the story.
The arena opened in 1992 as University Arena and was renamed in honor of the former president, John Worthen. The first basketball game was a doubleheader on January 15, 1992 against Miami of Ohio. Over the weekend, the men and women's basketball games drew large crowds to celebrate the anniversary that included former basketball player Dwayne Irvin.
Playing against Larry Bird 2 years, that was a great experience. He turned out obviously to be a fantastic basketball player. I remember when we beat Ohio State University. That was a big win for us. And then I remember playing in the very first MAC tournament.
There were also free cupcakes, custom 25-year anniversary t-shirts, and balloon animals for kids. During the celebration, fans could take a look at past uniforms and artifacts from the last 25 years here on display at Worthen. The crowds also drew former faculty members. Warren Vanderhill was Ball State's former provost and vice president of academic affairs when the stadium first opened.
I went through the whole planning process and watched it go up, watched it be approved, was part of the group that helped raise the money for the arena. And it was an absolutely amazing thing to see what we had done in going from the old then Irving gym into the arena. So it's been a great thing for Ball State University.
Vanderhill and his colleague Dale Hahn, former professor of health science, were in the new gym while the baskets were being put into the arena.
Vanderhill grabbed a basketball and we came over here and we claimed that we made the first baskets on the floor. It was earlier in the day, so it weren't official baskets. But so we had a good time, kind of sneaking a peek at it earlier in the day.
In Muncie, Mary Eber, NewsLink, Indiana.
And for more information, you can visit ballstatesports.com/Worthen25. And Esther, that was a pretty cool thing that they did over the weekend, and there was also some pretty good basketball at Worthen, too.
That's what I heard. Guys, make sure to stay tuned because coming up next, we'll have sports anchor Peter Hood live in the studio to keep us updated on everything we need to know about sports.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Sports Director Peter Hood here, along with sports reporter Ryan Flannery, our Ball State basketball insider. He also is the beat writer for the Ball State Daily News, reporting on all things Ball State men's basketball. And Ryan, we obviously saw the Worthen in 25 package that Mary did before the break there. Before we get to that, it was cool to see obviously the alums back at the game on Saturday, but the game itself, Ball State wins yet another. That's 5 of their last 6. They beat Western Michigan. What impressed you about the win on Saturday?
What impressed me the most about the win on Saturday were the two leaders. Persons and House really took over the game, had 42 points combined each, and especially, Persons on Saturday had 24 points, and he only averages about 15 per game. So we really took over that game from a leader standpoint and really at will scored or dished out some passes to his teammates.
When you look at this team, obviously there were a lot of expectations coming into the year, co-MAC West champions a year ago, and obviously you covered that ride last season.
They've won 5 of their last 6 now. They seem like they're finally starting to hit their stride. To you, what's been the biggest key to them kind of figuring it out? Because obviously they had some stumbles at the beginning of the year.
To me, the biggest key lately trying to figure out is their defense is really starting to come along. Whitford has really said their secret from now until March is they're going to be their defensive play. With the return of Jeremy Tyler, they've really seen a drop in their opponent's field goal percentage in about 2%, from 41% to about 39% field goal percentage. And another thing is their offensive play has really jumped in Mid-American Conference play. In the past 6 games, they've made it to the line about 28 times, and in the 15 games before that, they were only getting to the line about 18 times. So the Ball State basketball team has definitely seen an improvement in their offensive game just because of free throws.
Yeah, obviously you mentioned the free throws, and that goes a long way to achieving the offensive efficiency that they're looking for. Jeremy Tyler, though, I wanted to touch on him. The shooting guard, the junior, was suspended the first 10 games of the year. What kind of impact has he made on the defensive end that's allowed Ball State to get better with his return?
With his return, I mean, he's just so quick on the offensive end. He's so lanky that Coach Whitford actually pegged him in the game on Saturday as probably one of their best on-ball defenders. So Whitford can really put Jeremy Tyler on the best defender the team is going to throw at us because of his speed. He can poke those balls away and create a lot of turnovers.
And as a reporter for NewsLink Indiana, you had an opportunity earlier today. Ball State baseball began practice over the weekend. Another team with high expectations coming into the year. We're going to play a little bit of Coach Maloney's sound here in just a minute, but just overall the conversation, what was kind of his tone like as they start practice here?
Coach Maloney cannot wait to get outside. He cannot wait to get the season going. He cannot wait to start playing with his guys, and he cannot wait to start, just practicing and seeing that all start to come to fruition.
Let's hear from the coach tonight.
Well, there's always a great excitement every time you start a new season. Just the excitement of being able to play against somebody else, the excitement of all the hard work that you put in, to see where you're at, the excitement to travel. It's just all the work these kids put into it, and the coaching staff and our support staff with our managers and all the people who help make Ball State baseball what it is. That's what you do it all for, is to compete.
For Ryan Flannery, I'm Peter Hood. That's all for sports. We'll be right back with your entertainment news.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to the shelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow. Oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to the shelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Samantha Ayersman with your entertainment news. After nearly 1 week, the cause of Mary Tyler Moore's death has finally been revealed. After a lifelong battle with diabetes, TMZ revealed today that Moore's cause of death was cardiopulmonary arrest. Other contributing factors to the actress's death included aspiration pneumonia and hypoxia, which is a lack of blood flow to the body tissues. According to her family, Moore had been suffering greatly in the weeks before her death. The actress and producer will be remembered for her role in The Mary Tyler Moore Show, which debuted in 1970, as well as her advocacy for female empowerment. Samantha Bee is taking a stand for journalists. The host of Full Frontal with Samantha Bee announced that she will be hosting a dinner with proceeds benefiting the Committee to Protect Journalists. Bee is calling the event not the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and it will take place on the same night as the actual White House Correspondents' Dinner. Bee is excited for the event and has said, whatever happens, happens. It's going to be weird. That's all for your entertainment news. Now back to you at the desk.
Okay, thanks, Samantha. Well, that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a great night.